I'm Dan Drake. This is Front Up on Visitor Network TV. With us today is Pauline Proach, the Executive Director of the Egan Maritime Institute.
Hello,
Pauline,
Dan.
welcome.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the direction that the Egan Maritime Institute is going in. I know that you've been there, about a year now?
Almost
a year. But prior to your arrival, the trustees went through a strategic planning process. What was the outcome of that process?
Well, after they had completed the Shipwreck Life-Saving Museum, which is on Pulpus Road, they were looking for a new direction. And they spent about 1.5 to 2 years really planning out. And Jean Grimmer, my predecessor, did an enormous amount of work going out to the community and interviewing members, as well as the trustees. They went out and interviewed members of the community. And they were looking for the next project, and it sort of came back after they collected their information and said, well, really we want to do something to help the students, children that are growing up here on Nantucket. And discussions with the schools happened, and they thought, well, let's do a maritime studies program. Can we introduce or reintroduce Nantucket's maritime history to our kids growing up, and can we connect them to careers, sciences, and trades?
Is this a vocational program, or is it primarily just an educational program?
At the moment, it is an educational program. It's in its infancy stage. This is our first year. It will be launched in the middle school this coming fall. And right now we're looking at 6th grade. 6th grade in the public school, and then 6th through 8th grade in the Lighthouse School and the Nantucket New School.
Do I understand you've hired somebody to be the coordinator of the program? We have.
Andrew Bald has come to us, and he has a great maritime background and has actually taught in private schools, middle school aged children. And we wanted to make sure that the direction was not only involving our history, and so we needed to find somebody that had a passion and interest in history, but also somebody that could enthuse our students into the potentials that lay ahead for them. We're starting out slowly, so we're starting out in the middle school. But an opportunity like this program really has the chance to grow really from elementary all the way through high school.
How's the reception been with the public schools?
It's been fabulous.
Good.
It's been great. We approached, we had already had interviews with Jean Grimmer, and then when I came on board, I sat with Michael Cozort, the superintendent, and then also met with Scott Meadows, principal at the middle school. And, you know, we talked about ways that we could incorporate a curriculum that would help not only teach the maritime history, which was our interest, but also if we could help support with the other sciences and technology and math. So we're building a curriculum that actually will link very nicely the other core subjects.
Will there be specific classes in maritime history, or is it just basically integrated into the curriculum?
We actually have, and I believe it has been finalized, that we will have a teaching period one each day a week.
Every day?
Every day. So every 6th grader will have this opportunity to do the maritime studies class. And I believe it's a 6 or 7 weeks class because it'll rotate through, so we can reach every student. And Andrew is going to develop a curriculum where he takes the students on a voyage, and we'll start off, you know, sort of in a historical setting and bringing children through to present day. With the Nantucket Lighthouse School and the Nantucket New School, it will look a little different. We're probably going to go in for chunks of time, like 2 or 3 week periods, and then go in maybe a couple of times during the year. But this summer we are launching our summer boating program, which is really the kickoff to Sea of Opportunities. And we're partnering with Nantucket Community Sailing, and we have a monomoy surf boat that we have been renovating. Which Eric Holk is very proud. Yes, he is. He is. She got in the water. They did a soft launch last week. She looks absolutely beautiful. It's about 1.5 years of getting her ready.
And apparently she floats and sails and rows and everything else.
Which is all things that you hope that she would do.
Right.
Yeah. And we have a 2-week boating program for middle-aged students.
Middle school age.
Middle schools, yes, yes. Yes,
Middle age?
school-
That's not a bad idea either, but you know.
I think it's more the middle age are dying to get in there.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll be doing that with the Nantucket Community Sailing for 2 weeks in August.
That's great. So the idea, again, is to familiarize the Nantucket school children, wherever they may be, with their marine background. It sort of fits back into the Admiral Coffin
Absolutely. Yes, when he had the
schoolhouse
Clio.
where your office is.
That's correct. And then also Admiral Coffin had a brig named the Clio that he took out many years ago, students, Nantucket students. We won't be quite doing that launch, but yes, we wanted to sort of step back and connect our children to the history and also, as I said, the trade sciences and careers, whether it's for their professional opportunities or whether it's just for their personal enjoyment. Years ago, I think it was easier for students to grow up here and be connected to the water. You have to seek the water out today. It's not as apparent. And so we hope to connect the students and get them on the water.
That's good. I think even in more olden days, if you will, there were a lot of Nantucket children who had no exposure to the water. I mean, interestingly.
Yeah.
Certainly many of them didn't know how to swim. Many of them, really the dunes were their border. And so I think it's wonderful. What else is going on at the Egan Maritime Institute? You have a new book coming out through the Mill Hill Press?
We do. It just arrived on Island for Love of Island, and it's the commemorative edition of the Nantucket Conservation Foundation. It's a beautiful coffee table book. It'll be available at the book festival. We'll be down there
next week. 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now.
Right.
Dick Duncan, our publisher, did an amazing job with Cecile Kaufman. It's great.
I'm sorry we don't have a copy to show, but it's.
You have to go out and buy it.
No.
You can see it.
Well, I'm sure you have one you could have brought along for the occasion anyway. Anything else that's
we have a great exhibit, Red Right Returning, which is at the Shipwreck and Life Saving Museum. We also have the Lighthouse Lightkeepers exhibit that we brought back from last year with a few additions. We have some great things going out in the museum. We have a lot of family activities. Every Tuesday for July and August will be Family Day and children's programming. We are doing 2 days where we are opening specially for families who have children with identified special needs. We wanted to make sure that the museum was accessible to all families, and from what we understand, sometimes families who have children with special needs are made to be uncomfortable in museums or movie houses or other public arenas. So we're offering that open to our families on 2 particular days this summer.
That's great, and you'll presumably publicize that.
We will. Everything actually is up on our calendar at www.eganmaritime.org.
How about your AcWeather that's up there? Is that something that a lot of people look at?
We have a ton of followers on that. That really was the brainchild again of Eric Holk, and he
it's
helps.
Been up now for what, about 2 years?
2 or 3 years, yes. And it's an app as well as a website, and I think
it's www.acweather.com.
Right. Yes, and you can access that through our website, or you can get the free app, download the free app. But I think a lot of people use it. Its intention was to be able to provide the weather, updated weather for folks either coming to Nantucket, traveling off the island, which we always know can be a challenge, and then for marine use and aviation use too. But yes, we have, during the winter when we get the storms, and Samantha will post some cool pictures up there. It always amazes me how many people are following us.
You're not using the Coffin School anymore as an exhibit site, are you? Or?
No, we just have our offices there, and we share space with Nantucket Community Sailing.
Right, so you don't really use the upstairs at all at this point.
No, we're there. We have our offices there, but that's that's the only use currently at this time.
All right. Well, PaulineProach, Director of the Egan Maritime Institute, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Dan, for having me.